Dear all, in this video I'll be discussing previous year question paper of basic electrical engineering. There are 10 questions. You can able to see there are 10 questions and there are 5 modules. Okay, from each module there will be 2 questions. For example, module 1, question 1 and 2, you are supposed to answer any one of the question which is most convenient for you. Likewise, module 2, from module 2 there are 2 questions. In that, for example, 3 or 4, you need to answer either 3 or 4, whichever you can able to manage it in a proper manner, you have to go ahead. Likewise, question module number 3, the same condition, and module number 4 also same manner. And finally, module 5, there are 2 questions, question number 9 or 8. You have to answer either question number 9 or 10. Likewise, you have to go ahead. So there are total 100 marks. Okay. Now I will be discussing about questions from module 1. You can able to see there are 2 questions. I will be showing the syllabus of module 1. You can able to see the syllabus of module 1. It comprises of DC circuit and AC fundamentals. Okay. Compared to other modules, module 1 is quite simple. Now let us have a discussion about the question paper. The first question is state and explain Kirchhoff law. You have to elaborately explain about Kirchhoff current law and Kirchhoff voltage law. Better use the same statement which we already explained from the standard textbook and also draw the necessary diagrams and corresponding equation. The second question is define form factor and peak factor. What is the definition of form factor? Form factor is defined as the ratio of RMS value to the average value. Obtain their values in sinusoid voltage. For a sinusoidal quantity, you have to define and write the values of form factor and peak factor. The third section is the circuit diagram comprises of 2 parallel resistors which are having 20 ohm and 30 ohm respectively, which is connected series with 15 ohm. 20 ohm and 30 ohm are connected in parallel and that will be serial with 15 ohm. If the current through 15 ohm is equal to 3 ampere, find the following quantities. So that is also quite simple. You can use the current division formula, voltage division formula, Ohm's law. Then you can use the power P is equal to I square R, or you can use P is equal to VI. By using the following equation, you can able to find out. Now I'll be showing you the scheme of evaluation, how they are going to evaluate your answer book. Actually, if you write the KVL and KCL statement, you will be avoiding 4 marks. Then you have to provide the suitable explanation. For example, KCL, draw a suitable circuit, draw a particular single node, and you have to mention incoming and outgoing current. And if you are mentioning properly, then you will be getting the particular marks. Same thing happening for KVL also. Draw a simple resistive circuit, and you have to mention directly the algebraic sum of EMF and the voltage drop acting on the circuit, that is equal to 0. So if you write it in a proper manner, you will be getting 8 marks. The second question is regarding the form factor. Form factor, it is the ratio of RMS value to the average value. If you write only the definition, you will be getting 2 marks. And if you derive the value, like what is RMS value? That means 0.707 IM. What is average value? 0.637 IM. If you are writing in that manner, you will be getting the form factor is equal to 1.11. So that is a value. So 2 plus 2, 4 marks. Similarly, peak factor, maximum value to the RMS value. So maximum value, you can assume it as IM. RMS value will be 0.70 IM. IM and IM will be getting cancelled. The remaining value will be 1.414, or you can write root 2. So the value will be, the answer you will be getting root 2, that is equal. So that if you are writing in that manner, you will be getting 2 plus 2 plus 2, that is equal to 6. Okay. And if I talk about the third question, draw the circuit diagram. 20 ohm and 30 ohm are in parallel, that is connected with the series to 15 ohm resistor. So the current which is flowing through the combination, total current is equal to 3 ampere. So first of all, you have to calculate equivalent resistance. Later, you have to calculate the total voltage. Afterwards, you can apply current division rule. Then you can able to calculate I1 and I2. I1 is the current flowing through 20 ohm. I2 is the current flowing through 30 ohm. Later on, you can able to calculate the power P20. So power consumed by this particular resistive part, that is equal to I square into R. I1 square into 20. Likewise, the second part will be I2 square into 20. So you can able to calculate very easily. And the power that is happening through the first branch is equal to 64.8 watts. The second branch is equal to 135 watts. You can easily score 20 marks from the first module of the first part. The first part is much more convenient. Okay. Likewise, you can able to plan. Otherwise, you can able to go ahead with the second question. Define average and RMS value of sinusoid and do the derivation also. It carries 8 marks. If you write the definition, you will be getting 4 marks. If you derive respective terminology, and you will be getting another 4. 4 plus 4 is nothing but 8. Then question number B, the second part of the question, you can able to solve. Find the potential difference between XY for the network given below. Okay. You can use the KVL and KCL. Easily you can able to compute the potential difference between X and Y. And state and explain Ohm's law, mention the limitation. For Ohm's law, if you are stating it properly, you will be getting 2 or 3 marks. Say 2 marks. If you are mentioning 4 limitations, then you will be getting 4. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6 marks. Likewise, you can mention. So I'll be showing you the answer key. Question 2a, you can able to see the derivation. The derivation as well as the definition of RMS and average value, it carries 8 marks. You can able to go through the derivation. And the second part is actually application of KVL, and you are able to calculate the potential difference between X and Y. Then you are going to divide each and every case. The first loop, I1, current flowing through the loop is I1, current flowing through another loop is I2. Then you have to apply the KVL and you can able to write the separate equation. I1 and I2 can be computed. So I1 and I2 is available here. Later you are supposed to calculate the voltage across X and Y. So that is also you can apply with the help of KVL you can able to apply. Okay, so I into R, that means minus 3 into I1 plus 4 into minus of 3 I2. Okay, then you will be getting 3.7. Easily you will be getting 6 marks. The division will be like this only. I1, if you compute, you will be getting 2 marks. I2, if you compute, you will be getting 2. Then the remaining part, the voltage across X and Y, you will be getting 2. Total 6 marks. Ohm's law limitations, you can able to refer my notes, you can able to understand. I already explained the Ohm's law. Okay, you can able to go through that particular notes. You will be getting the particular answer. Okay, 2 plus 4. 2 for statement and 4 for the limitations. Then question number 3 and 4 are belong to module 2. The module 2 comprises of single phase circuit and 3-phase circuits. So based on that concept, you will be getting the particular questions. You can able to answer question number 3 and 4. Identify which question is most convenient. Go ahead with the particular question. Let's discuss question number 3. Obtain the behavior of voltage, current, and power in a pure inductor, which is connected to single phase AC supply. So what is going to happen if you connect an inductor with a single phase AC? Draw the circuit diagram. It is having weightage. Then write the relation between voltage and current. Say for the angle difference between phase angle between voltage and current is phi. Then you can able to write V is equal to, for example, I is equal to, for example, let me give one example. V is equal to Vm sin omega t. Then I is equal to Im sin omega t minus phi, because in inductive circuit, the voltage leads by the current at an angle of phi. Okay, then you can able to write the expression for power also. Finally, you have to derive that P average is equal to 0. If you write up to this point, you will be getting 8 marks. Show that 3-phase power can be measured using only 2 watt meters for a balanced star connected load. So first of all, draw the circuit diagram of star connected system. Then do mention 2 watt meter, and connection should be proper. That circuit diagram is having the weightage of 2 marks. Remaining, you have to mention what about W1 and W2, and what is the overall expression for the power. If you have to calculate W1 plus W2, what is the value of W1 plus W2? If you complete that, you will be getting 6 marks. Then if I talk about the question numbers C, a 3-phase load of 3 equal impedances are connected in delta across the balanced load 400 volt 50 hertz 3-phase supply, which takes a line current of 10 ampere at a power factor of 0.7 lagging. Calculate the phase current total power in VA. VA means apparent power in VAR, reactive power. You can recall the equation. In delta connected system, you can say that line voltage will be equal to phase voltage, but the line current is equal to √3 times phase current. You can able to calculate the phase current. So line current is given. From that, you can able to calculate phase current. Then total power you can able to calculate. Total power. Then for example, root 3 VLIL cos phi. And power in VAR, root 3 VLIL sin phi. Then power in VA, root 3 VLI. Likewise, you can able to compute. Definitely, you will be getting 6 marks. I'll be showing you the answer key. Question number 3, you are supposed to draw the particular circuit diagram and you have to mention the relation between voltage and current in a pure inductive circuit and finally derive that P average is equal to 0. In 3 wattmeter method, you have to draw the circuit diagram, mention W1 and W2. Finally, what is the equation for W1 plus W2? And the phasor diagram is also required. Then question number Q3C, third part. So you have to mention the relation between line voltage and phase voltage and line current and phase current. Then you have to calculate the real power, reactive power and apparent power. If you mention that, you will be getting 6 marks. Only equations are sufficient to compute. Now I would like to discuss the second questions which is belong to module 2. That means 4a. Obtain the expression for line and phase relationship of voltage, current and power in three-phase star connected system. Diagram is must. Later, individual step-by-step derivation. That is also essential. Finally, you have to mention VL is equal to root 3 V phase, IL is equal to I phase. So that is a peculiarity of star connected system. If you complete that, you will be getting 8 marks. So next point is related to the question B you can able to see. So that is basically a simple equations. You can able to manage by using either rectangular form or polar form, which is comfortable. You can able to go ahead. So you have to calculate the power factor of the circuit and the power consumed by the circuit by using the basic equations. And the third question is belong to 2 wattmeter method. Here W1 and W2 is already given. So you can able to calculate the total power is equal to W1 plus W2, that is equal to root 3 VLIL cos phi. Then from that you can able to calculate the line current, then power factor you can calculate. Okay. So I'll be showing you the answer key. At that time you will get clarified. As I said, Q for C, then equation W1 plus W2 is equal to 6.2 kilowatts. Then you can able to elaborate. That means root 3 VLIL cos phi is equal to 6.2. From that you can able to calculate IL. Likewise, you can able to calculate cos phi also. Equation is available. This equation is relevant for computing the cos phi. Okay, cos of tan inverse of root 3 into W1 minus W2 by W1 plus W2. Okay, you can easily compute the value of cos phi. That is equal to 5. Tan phi you will be getting. From that you can able to get cos phi. From that you can able to get phi. Phi is equal to cos inverse of that particular value. Okay, likewise you can able to go ahead with that. Then question number A, star connection, you have to mention with suitable derivation. Okay, a circuit diagram is must. Okay, later you can able to derive. And question number B, for B, you can use the formula voltage. It is expressed in terms of rectangular form. You can able to convert into polar form. Okay, then impedance, you can able to calculate impedance. Okay, then separation of impedance and reactance. Impedance means R plus JX. Okay. Then Xc already available from Z part. Z is equal to R plus Jx. Okay, from that you can able to calculate the value of capacitance. Then power factor, that will be 0.696 leading because of the capacity network. So thereby you can able to calculate the power as well. So this is the way how to manage the question number 4. Question number 5, explain, this is belong to module number 3. There are 2 segments for the module number 3. The first one is transformers and second part is domestic wiring. The first question is from the domestic wiring. Explain electrical shock, it causes and the precautions. So 4 plus 4 marks you will be getting. Then discuss the various types of losses in transformer. There are 2 types of losses, copper loss and core loss. Do mention the necessary equation also, you will be getting 6 marks. Then this is a problem related to transformer and the apparent power. The transformer capacity is given. Then the primary and the secondary voltage. It's a step down transformer and frequency remains constant always in transformer. Frequency is constant 50 hertz and there are 80 turns in secondary. You are asked to compute the following parameter: rated primary and secondary current, number of primary turns, then maximum value of the flux core, and voltage induced per turn on the secondary. So let us work out this. It is a simple problem and you can able to score complete marks from this particular session. See, 5A, as I said, you have to mention about the definition of shock, explanation. You can able to write it very clearly with you have to underline the valuable points. Definitely you will be getting full marks. And the losses of transformers, write the equations also, copper loss, core loss, you have to mention it clearly. Then 5C. So you have to calculate primary and secondary current. I1 is equal to kVA by V1. kVA means power. Okay. Apparent power. I2 is equal to kVA by V2. Then I'll be getting the I1 and I2, primary and secondary current. Now you can use the equation for transformation ratio. E2 by E1 is equal to N2 by N1 is equal to K. From that you can able to get N1, 2 1 turns. Then you can use the EMF equation of transformer. E1 is equal to 4.44 F into 5M into N1. From that you can able to calculate 5M. Then V2 by N2 need to be calculated. That is equal to V2 is already available, N2 is equal to 80. That is equal to 51.19 volt per turns. Like if you complete that, you can able to get the complete marks. Okay, don't leave not even a single marks. You can score it easily. So that's a speciality of this paper. Question number 6. There is a problem related to the efficiency of the transformer. There is a topic in module 3, efficiency of the transformer. Please go through that particular topic and recall the equations. Then you can able to solve this particular numerical example. Then discuss about the necessity of earthing. Why earthing is required? Non-current carrying metal part should be always earthed to pass the current, unsafe current towards the earth. Thus, the equipment will be protected, and those who are handling the equipments also will be protected. Then with the neat diagram, explain the pipe earthing. So you have to mention about GI pipe dimension, the diameter, then layer, different layers you have to mention. So if you mention all those things, you will be getting full marks. And you have to mention the short note on fuse. What is fuse? What is the purpose of fuse? So what about the construction of fuse? What are the materials which is made up of fuse? What are the speciality of the fuse? If you write these particular points, you are able to get 3 marks. Another 3 marks will be dedicated for miniature circuit breaker. Technical notes, maybe do mention 6 points. That is sufficient. Okay, thereby you'll be getting 6 marks. Okay, so you have to recall the transformer efficiency, one of the topic that is called a transformer efficiency. If you want, I will show you the key, how the key look like. You are supposed to recall the equation of transformer efficiency, full load efficiency. Then you are supposed to separate the copper loss and iron loss. Okay. Then you will be calculating the efficiency at a full load and 0.95 power factor. You can recall the equations. Okay. Then your job will be easy. Later I mentioned about earthing. So the importance of earthing. Then 2 marks. Plate earthing, if you write, you will be getting 4 marks. Write in depth. Add more technical contents. Then fuse, if you write in detail, you will be getting 3 marks, and MCB will be getting 3 marks. My suggestion, do mention everything in point by point wise so that evaluator can give the marks easily. So these are the questions which can be expected from module 3, single phase transformers, and the next part will be domestic wiring. Then moving on to module 4, there are 2 segments, DC generators and DC motors. Basically, we can call it as a DC machines. You have to understand the fundamentals of DC machines. Okay, so there is understand what type of questions can be expected from module 4. As far as the module 4 concerned, the first question, 7A. With a neat sketch, explain the construction of DC machine. You have to mention about commutator, brush, yoke, all the segment, armature, everything you have to mention very clearly with a suitable explanation. So diagram, they may give for 3 marks and the remaining explanation 5 marks. 3 plus 5 is equal to 8 marks. So next is a problem. You have to write the given data. What are the given data? 4 pole, number of pole P is equal to 4. Then supply voltage is equal to 230. Terminal voltage is equal to 230. It's a DC series, wave connected armature, wave connected machine. What is the specialty? Wave winding. So A is equal to, that A is equal to 2. Then the total conductor, that is equal to 1254. Then flux phi is equal to 22 milliweber. Convert into Weber, 22 into 10 to the power minus 3 Weber. Takes the current I is equal to 50 amps. Okay, then armature field and series field resistance RA and RSC, that is equal to 0.3 and 0.2 respectively. Do mention RA and RSC. Calculate the speed and torque developed in watts. So recall the equation of back EMF. EB is equal to 5 Zn by 60 into P by A. That is one equation. Related to terminal voltage, EB is equal to V minus IARA. And the torque equation also you have to mention. Okay. If you recall those equations, you can easily solve the problem. Then brief characteristics on DC shunt motor with the NIA characteristics, TIA characteristics, you can able to explain easily. So if you mention it properly, definitely you can score full marks. Let me show how the answer look like. There is no change for question 7a regarding the DC machine diagram and explanation of various part 3 plus 5. That is okay. Then regarding the problem, EB is equal to V minus IA into RA plus RSC. You have to mention. From that, you will be getting EB is equal to 22.225 volt. Now substitute in the second equation and you can able to get the value of speed. So that is carrying 2 plus 1, 3 marks. Then power is equal to EB into IA. Then you will be getting the total power developed by the armature. That is equal to 11,250 watts. Anyway, you can know, the relation between power and torque. Pa is equal to 2 pi n by 60 into T. TA. P is equal to omega T, T omega, where omega is known as angular speed. That is equal to 2 pi n by 60. Linear speed is available. You substitute over here, definitely you will be getting the torque TA. PA already computed. From that you can able to get the value of TA. That is equal to 439.08 Newton meter. Don't forget to write the units. That's very important. The third part of the question number 7, that is equal to characteristics of a DC motor. Okay, DC shunt motor. TAIA characteristics. N speed armature current characteristics. Torque armature current characteristics. Then speed torque characteristics. So we can able to mention and do mention the relation also. Definitely you can able to crack it very easily and get complete score. Please do remember that your write-up should be legible. Then question number 8, define back EMF and derive the torque equation of DC motor. If you write the derivation, definitely you can get the full score. And question number B is also related to the EMF equation. Write all the parameters what they have provided. Number of poles equal to 4. The lap winding. Lap winding means A is equal to number of poles. A. And the total number of conductors per armature conductor per parallel path is equal to 4. A is equal to 4. Then total conductors will be 24 slots into 10 conductors. 24 into 10. Then flux is already given 0.04 Weber. Then speed is also provided. Definitely you can calculate the EMF. Now another question, what would be the generated EMF if the winding is wave connected? For the wave connected system, A is equal to 2. Always remember that the wave connection is mainly suitable for high voltage, low current application. To generate the high EMF, you can go ahead with the wave connection. That you have to mention. Then give the classification of DC generators with the required circuit diagram. So basically two classifications, separate self-excited generator and a separately excited generator. Again, you can divide the self-excited generator into shunt type, series and a compound type. Compound type will be divided into cumulative and differential type. Again, you can able to divide into short shunt and long shunt. Likewise, you can divide. Okay, I will be showing you how you can able to observe the answer key. So EMF equation EB is equal to 5Z by 60 into P by A. 5Z by 60 into P by A. This you have to derive. And the torque equation also you need to derive. Okay, each derivation 4 plus 4, that is equal to 8 marks. Then problem, which I explained with the help of back EMF, you can able to calculate. When it is a lap winding, what is the EMF? When it is when it forms using wave wound, what is the EMF? Okay, you can able to mention. Then the classification. Briefly, you have to explain. Totally, you will be getting 20 marks for this particular question number 8. That is very sure. Now, I would like to show you module 5. From the questions belong to module 5. There are two questions 9 and 10. First of all, I'll be showing you the syllabus content. Module 5 is basically from AC machine, especially a 3-phase synchronous generator and a 3-phase induction motors. Let us see how to answer those questions. Question number 9, you have to talk about the working of induction motor with the diagram, suitable diagram, explain about rotating magnetic field theory. Okay, with a suitable diagram, you will be getting 8 marks. Then question number 9b, you have to mention advantages of the rotating field over rotating armature. Okay. Then question number 9, you have to mention about speed you have to calculate, then total conductors, then conductor per phase. Then you can use the EMF equation and compute the value of voltage, EL, line voltage you can compute. The marks is distributed as follows. Then question number 10a, what is the working principle of alternator? Okay, 3 plus 5, diagram also required. Then derivation of EMF equation, you have to mention it properly. Okay. Then 6, you have to mention about the various parameters. Any 6 parameter you have to mention. Okay. Major differences between squirrel cage and slippering induction motor. For example, addition of resistance, whether that is a self-starting machine or likewise you can mention. Okay, at least a 6 parameter has to be explained. Then question number 10c, you have to use the equations like ns equal to 120 f by p, then rotor frequency, the slip relation between the rotor frequency and the slip that you have to recall. Finally, what is equation for slip? And from that, you can calculate the speed. Okay, these are the now things you have to take care before writing the examination. I hope the session is useful. If you are having any queries, you can put up in the comment box. Okay, so you have to first of all, you have to identify what are the important questions, and based on that, you can able to plan just like a revision session only. You must have studied the entire syllabus throughout the semester. Now you have to revise and how to answer it. You can go through the particular key. Okay, so this is actually the one of the standard key. Likewise, you can able to manage it, and wish you all the best for the examination. Thank you.